Joe's back.
We back.
Howie, you ready for some composites?
I know you is.
Cap, you ready to teach them about some action?
It's time to parlay again.
You know I'm ready. All green screen on this side, hustling.
Stay ready, you ain't gotta get ready, huh?
Rise and grind, rise and grind. This July, it's that time, it's that time. So get your tickets now and get in line. And we gon' show you how to rise one more time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you all for joining us once again for this interview that's coming up with Brandy Moton of Moton Photography. And we appreciate you joining in. If you are watching on Streamyard, go ahead and give Streamyard permission so that they can see your name and your profile picture when you make comments or ask questions during the broadcast. We appreciate that. Let's see. I see Kim Mattos, you already got it down. Felicia, you got it down. Sherry, you got it down. I'm looking at all these folks. Not sure who this is. Go ahead and give StreamYard permission so that we can go ahead and see you. And who is this one I hear? Y'all are doing it. Go ahead and give StreamYard permission so we can see who you are. And everyone, go ahead and enter your city and state where you're from. We'd like to know where everybody's watching from. We appreciate that as well. So let's go ahead and go on. Here, Rise Workshops. We've got our workshop coming up, Rise 2 in Orlando, Florida, July 15th to the 17th. We've got about a week left, and we'll be heading out there to provide some education to those folks who are taking advantage of what we have to offer. 3 ways to do the same thing. I do my action photography that leads into my team and individual. I call it the parlay. Howie's known for his composites and his photography work. He likes to do those travel teams, etc. Not so much high volume, but definitely high quality. And Kane is the green screen master, and his workflow is outstanding. He turns photos around like in a day. 200, 250 kids, and he turns them around the next day. He's got them up for sale, and he's moving on to the next event. So we hope to see you all there and take advantage of the training that we are offering for you. We appreciate that. And let's see what we got here. Make sure I got everybody here. Everybody's looking good. We got some people put their names in now. Felicia, Ken. Okay. All right, Kevin, you got Jamie in there with you. I know she's coming with you. Appreciate that. Look forward to seeing you guys in Florida. And I think that's everybody. So let's go ahead and move on with it. Kendrick Brown once again here with Rise Workshops. We're going to interview Brandy Moton. And hold on, my iPad died on me. I think I got it all down. Brandy Moton, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Her business is motonphotography.com. She shoots TNI volume. She shoots junior high, high school, and youth programs as well. She shoots traditional as well as green screen. She does all her own composite work. She doesn't farm that out. And as far as which platform she uses to sell her products, she uses both. She does use Photo Day as well as paper order forms for some of her events. She'll explain why she does that and which events she chooses to do which one so that she maximizes the profits for her family. Speaking of family, she is married, she's got 2 boys, 18 and 20. They're just about empty nesting, and she's a one-woman show when she goes out. So with the volume that she shoots, between 5,000 and 10,000 kids per year, it's pretty much just her. Her husband helps her with the volume shoots with the kids. And then she'll have the coaches help her when she's going to the high school, so she can handle it with the one-woman show, and you can ask her questions about that. Started her business in 2014. She's been shooting since 2011. Previously worked at American Red Cross and organized blood drives for the whole state of Texas. And she has several varsity accounts, 6 community accounts, and took last summer off completely. When we were talking about this, we agreed with the fact that we shouldn't work ourselves to the ground. And I know many of us have been there where we worked and didn't take any time for ourselves, and that's no good for anybody. So remember to take that time for yourselves. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring in Brandy here. There we go, back on track. That's the first time she got to see that too, guys. So how'd I do, Brandy?
It was great. Thank you.
Good. Welcome. I hope I did you justice with your intro. Anything that I left out that you want to share to get us going, go for it.
No, I think I work best by questions.
All right.
Seriously.
You guys heard it. Make sure you're typing those questions in the comments. So that I can go ahead and get to those and address those across the platform. And go for it. We talked earlier about your composite work, and we just saw a video with some of your work in there. And why did you choose to do your own composite work versus farming it out, since you do such high volume?
I enjoy that piece. I truly do. And I'm not one to take a template and just use it. I want to mix it up. I want to tear it apart and blend like 5 together and make something original. But that's my creative time to do that. And I always want to put a little extra kick on the backside that not just everybody does, so that it stands out from everybody else. The moms out here with their cameras trying to,
Absolutely.
I just,
and sometimes that is the difference between what we're doing and what they're doing. They've got the same gear we have. They don't have the lighting, they don't have the posing, but they got the same gear. They could get a decent photo. And sometimes that's the difference. With the templates that you use, I call it Frankensteining. Do you like to mix them up with different templates that you purchase and add your own?
Oh yeah, always. I like these lights, and I like this background, and yeah, it's got to be complete. I want it to be unique, and that way, if somebody in my area, which there are a few, I've seen some templates in my area, and right. I'm like, hey, and so I can go, well, mine doesn't look just like that, or one of the things I learned from Brian Evans several years ago, just the color grading that you can
right.
add to things completely changes the look of it, where somebody that's just dropping a kit on a template that doesn't
right.
blend it or doesn't shadow it, those type things, I take the time to do all of that. So Sherry asked, how do I balance all my time to get it all done?
Uh-huh.
I've learned to say no a lot. And both of my kids are now, 18 and above, and I'm tired.
Uh-huh.
I just turned 49 yesterday and I feel like 79 some days, so
right.
I learned to say no. My calendar is still a mess. Sherry, don't, by all means, I am a hot mess 9 months out of the year. But what I'm trying to do this year is, if I work a big league, and a big league to me, because I am a one-man show outside my husband working the table, a big league, a big football league. And we know football teams are, anywhere from 20 to 30 kids a team.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 6 to 8 of those. That's a lot of kids
right.
for one person to handle and process. So, here's my goal is I'm going to shoot that on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm going to take off this within the week, a good 2 or 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be my process. It's like, that way I can turn it and get it back, because I'm just as bad as everybody else that's been late in getting things back. Sometimes it's been right there at that 6-week mark, and it sucks. And luckily my people are very faithful here. and
Right.
they've stuck with me through the growing pains. And it feels like that was my excuse year after year was, I'm sorry, guys, we keep growing. We keep growing, and I'm trying as fast as I can. And I felt horrible because and there's nothing worse than somebody waiting on you.
Right.
And so it's just, I've learned to say no. I've learned my limits, and that's huge.
Good, good.
I watch on these groups and I see somebody jump on and go, I just got a league of 1,000 kids. I've never done this before. Who can help me? And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? Start with one team or two teams. You don't
Right.
jump into that, So I've learned to say, here's what I can handle. And I've actually advertised to the point of saying, we are only taking this many leagues.
Right. We've done the same
And
thing.
it makes that urgency for them to get on the calendar. Last year was a whole different ballgame because I had a senior.
Uh-huh.
So by God, I was going to be mom. I was going to be at everything I needed to be at. And so I pulled back a lot, but then I
Right.
enjoyed actually sleeping, So I kind of learned that this summer. I've been off for about a month. I've had random things here in the studio, just little
Right.
things, but no big things. I've learned to book my year out as a
Mhm.
year. And I know in the 1st of June, I'm going to have a big state baseball all-state. It's
Right.
going to pay me very well. And it's going to take me through the month to where I don't have a lot of expenses. I do have the studio now, which
Right.
we didn't have overhead before. Now we do. But, I've just learned to plan ahead way more than I've ever had. But just the basic is just to say no.
Good. 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 Good.
Because when you say yes, 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 you just keep burying yourself and burying yourself.
There you go.
I learned the hard way for years and years, and I'm tired.
All right. We figured it out. That's the secret. That word. There is a word such as no. Felicia has a comment here. How do you find your new clients?
Felicia, I am very, very fortunate in this area. I started in full-time here in 14, and I dipped my toes before I quit my job. So I had made a small name for myself, and we hardly advertise at all. Most of it is all word of mouth by our existing clients. I do youth leagues through varsity. So if I've got siblings, that kind of, it trickles down. When I first started though, I had to go find some because I'm like, I just quit my job. I need more than just this little league over here. It's get your work out there, even if you have to create, something. If you don't have any samples, which I'm thinking you do, if you're in this group, you've got something going on.
Right.
And, it's not always what it's who you know. And, I've been told, try the chambers. But I mean, if there's a big youth league, you've got to know a parent. And all
Right.
it takes is your work online and one parent seeing it and saying, I want that. That's all it takes. And it will just kind of go downhill from there. I mean, a lot of my guy friends on here, Brian Evans, Kane, all of them, they're out there with cards. I don't know if Brian does that anymore, but he used to go out to these little league teams and the ball fields and just hand out to say, hey, who's your contact? Here's this.
Right.
But I have been very fortunate. We have a large percentage of the youth sports, varsity sports in northeastern Oklahoma, in the Tulsa area. I've been very fortunate on this side of Tulsa to have that. So, and luckily coaches move a lot. They don't stay in one place.
Right.
If you're friends with the coaches, they'll come. Sometimes they bring you with them. And I've got one coach, he's moved 4 times. I have 4 new high school accounts because he just brought me everywhere he went, and I'm like, okay.
That's excellent. That's the parlay right there, parlaying that coach relationship.
Yeah. Then I kept the account when he left, I'm like, oh, well, I still have them over there, but, so I don't, Felicia, and I'll have you answer this. Do you work with just youth, or do you do varsity, or do you both? That's a whole different answer kind of, it depends on what you shoot and what you want to work with.
Absolutely. Go ahead and keep typing in those questions. Felicia, she responded back to you. Go ahead and type a question in. If others have questions that are watching live, we got 12 of you out there. We appreciate it. Go ahead and type those questions in. Help us out. Don't let us drag. What are you shooting with, Brandy? Are you shooting mirrorless? Are you shooting SLR, Canon, Nikon? Sony?
I am a Canon girl through and through. I did move over to mirrorless this year.
R6?
I have two now. I have the R6. I have two of them.
Okay.
And I still have my Mark IV 5D, my 5D Mark IV, and it's sitting on a shelf getting ready to go back to Canon to be refurbished so I can try to sell it.
Right.
I'm like, somebody wants that. Somebody does. But yeah, I love the mirrorless. There's a lens I want. I have the 2470 or the 24105. I don't remember which one it is. But I bought
the F4.
I bought the F4 because I thought, well, I'll just use it in studio and on location and stuff. And then the minute I take it out to do a senior, I'm wishing I had that 2.8.
Right.
So I'm probably going to leave that here and then buy the 2.8 and keep it in my bag.
Right.
So she says she does high school yearbook. So a lot of varsity accounts. It's coaches talk. And if you have a couple of accounts, these coaches, I'm astonished at, and more baseball probably than anything, that I know there's communities of football coaches and all of that stuff, but the baseball coaches are just ridiculous because a lot of them do summer league and then competitive league and stuff like that outside of school. So if you have any type of relationship start with your baseball team or your athletic director. And if you have a good relationship with your athletic director, he could always, if he's got feelers out with other schools that he knows need help, or he's like, look at my school has and yours doesn't, maybe you can go help them. And that's happened at my high school because I started with my kids' school. And you really just can't crap the bed where you live. I'm not do it right, or because you live there.
This is the truth. So, aren't you the one that didn't give me my pictures?
Exactly. I'm like, I live right down the street, so you want to come over? So it's but I would start with your AD or your coaches that you are you're really comfortable talking to, because I have some coaches that I sit down and have a drink with, and I have a couple ADs the same way. So it's building those relationships, and they will refer you.
So true.
Help you. Yeah.
Rashad here, just giving you some props, throwing some fire up.
Oh, thanks.
And Howie clowning here. Cut to the scene from Napoleon Dynamite where the lady's like, I want that. Facebook user here wants to know if you're going to be in Florida at Rise 2.
I cannot be. I start my fall season that next day. So I know. I want him. I'm going to try next year. I am so going to try to do it. I've been off most of June and then through mid-July. We're in Dead Week in Oklahoma right now. And so I start mid-July, all of my girl stuff. So all my volleyball, all my cheer, my dance, my softball, and I usually don't start any football until August. So all my girl things are compiled in 2 weeks. Okay. And this year I decided to be ridiculous and take off 4 days of the second week to take my son on a trip before he goes to college. Good. So it's very crammed, and I would love to be there, but there's no way I can this year. So,
good. Sherry has another question here. Sherry's very active. Thank you, Sherry.
I love Sherry, yes.
Can you explain what's your backup process? What all do you keep? Backup.
Okay. And this is a huge debate across our volume world. I shoot everything raw because I want total control of everything I have. Now, if I go out and shoot a game, it's JPEG all the way, because you may shoot 1,000 shots, but all of my TNI, everything is raw. And I just, I have it backed up. I'm assuming this is what you're talking about, my backup process. My backup, I have a backup Lightroom hard drive. I have a cloud backup. It's not on this computer. It's on my desktop. I can't remember the company, but it backs up.
Is it Backblaze?
Yes, Backblaze.
We have them on.
Yep, I have them. Haven't regretted it. I've never had to use it, but I know I'm not worried about it.
Right.
I keep everything. I have, once a team is done, it goes off onto, like right now, it'll go off onto my 2022 part 2 hard drive to get it off my desk, because my desk gets bogged down, mostly because of the raw files over into the PNG files and then into the PS files. I mean, it gets huge. So as soon as a team is done, it's wiped over off onto another hard drive. But I know and those hard drives stay plugged in, so Backblaze is backing those up.
Right.
I should have a good 3 or 4 backup. And then the proofs are on PixieSet right now it's either PixieSet or Photo Day. So, they're backed up there. The final products are backed up twice at least there too. So, yeah.
Good,
I think they're backed up pretty good. I had in 2018, the year my oldest graduated, I formatted the wrong hard drive.
Ooh.
And it was his senior year.
Oh, that hurt.
And I got it back, but it was
costly.
65,000 files in a no order, in no particular order, with no file name.
Wow.
So I learned my lesson.
Did you have to send the drive to a clean room?
No, I just bought that little program online that you can retrieve it. And it took like 2 days to retrieve it all. And then I got it, but it's a hot mess. So
good.
Yeah.
All right. She gives out the thank you. And then OC's throwing you some love. Hey, Brandy, super talented self. Howie clowning again. But you want to be, that's the main thing. I'm not sure. We lost that topic. You want to be what? What do you want to be? I lost it. It was probably earlier in the conversation.
I'm good right now.
Right. Let's see who else. I think. Oh, here we go.
My overall.
Yeah. What's your overall AOV? They're talking about on Photo Day. Which sport do you find that you tend to make the least amount of profit?
Photo
AOV,
Day.
You're talking about Photo Day.
My average on Photo Day, right? Right now it's sitting around $48.
Mm-hmm.
And we only run varsity through Photo Day because one thing, I shoot all of my varsity on the field of play. The only thing, because I know the sales are lower, because I don't have the parents. But I have that gets it in their hands. The only thing we composite for, and I say we a lot because it's a family business, and so I have it. The only thing that's composited with my varsity are the senior banners and possibly their poster. So everything else is shot on the field. So it just goes straight to Photo Day. And I can literally run it through Lightroom, run it through twice with a little logo at the bottom, upload it, and walk away and be done. And I'm telling you, the first year I did that, I probably gained, I don't know how many hours of sleep, not having to mess with paper order forms and stuff. All of our youth, though, is all still traditional for the most part. We did start online galleries this year, but they're private galleries through PixieSet.
Right.
And we print everything in-house. So I don't lose that profit that kills me on Photo Day sometimes.
Kills us all.
And which sport do you tend to make the least amount of profit? Sport.
I got mine for sure.
I would say for varsity, spring baseball. I would say middle school, it's iffy. It depends on the school. The schools I have run anywhere. It's very vast. I run anywhere from a 2A school to a 6A school. So it just depends on what account it is. Like I had a baseball team from a 2A school. First, they didn't get their crap together to get me out there in time. So by the time they got their pictures done, the season's almost over. Graduation's happening. Parents don't care. Parents, if they even got the freaking code, I don't know.
Right.
So, but football we make a third of our year in August and September. So I don't really sleep for 2 months.
Right.
We kind of recover in October. At the end of October, wrestling and basketball starts. So, but yeah, I'd probably say baseball.
Tennis, golf, and swimming for us for the high schools.
I don't shoot. Tennis, golf, swim. No, don't do any of those. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see. OC coming across. I need the plug again for the football program.
Good Lord, I'd have to find it. That's what Sherry asked. Are you still doing your yearbooks, which are our sports programs? Yes. I have it kind of slowed down a little bit because, I did most of them at the school where my kids went, and I was doing all the work. Well, when my last one graduated this year, I said, wake up, people, because the world is changing. You're going to be responsible for this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do this.
Right. For real.
So I do have, let me see how I just did the All-State one. I always do that one by myself for baseball. And then for football, I have 1, 2, I have a new one this year, 2, 3. I'm working on a volleyball one right now. So I have at least 3, and those are going to be 52 to 56 pages a piece. So I did, working with one of my schools, there was a mom who's a graphic designer and ended up being one of my really good friends. Her son graduated this past year, and she would help do all the ads. And so I'm actually bringing her on during this season, and she's going to create, because she creates them a lot like I do. And very similar. And so I'm going to pay her to help me make all the ads. And then I'll worry about the content. And hey, I'll do it if it helps.
He said he has your materials from your class. He just wanted to know about the approach again, a refresher.
Booster Club. Booster Club is your go-to. Those are the ones that do most of ours outside my school, which I have now handed to the Booster Club and said, here's the deal. You can make money at this. I'll show you how to make money at this, but you have to take some responsibility for this.
Right.
You have to actually do a little legwork, where in the past I've done all the ads, everything. And they're just sitting there. Well, they weren't making any money off of it either, though.
Right.
So it went back to the athletic department as a whole. And so now I'm like, you can make this as a fundraiser if you just do it right. And then I have schools, big schools, 6A schools, who only let the senior parents do ads. And I said, do you know how much money you're leaving off the table there? Right? I mean, if you would offer it to especially those freshmen that they're just excited to be on varsity, and their parents would probably buy a freaking full page ad, and you're not letting anybody buy ads but seniors. I'm like, okay, that needs to change. You need to make some money. So it's been fun, and to see people's face light up and go, oh, we can do that. And I'm like, you can do whatever you want.
Exactly. Get paid. I like the way you think. There's Brian Waits chiming in. Are you doing any deposit on shoot days to help get some money flowing, or just no varsity will buy online and doing the paper order forms for underclass? So
varsity, no, because that's just kind of their varsity account. So they can do the prepay with Photo Day where they get the free shipping, blah, blah. But youth, now in the past, we've done, paper order forms where payment was due right then. And myself and my husband were tired of saying, well, we want to see it. Well, we want to see it. And it is definitely a generational thing. So, those young teams, those parents, they're crazy. And so we tried in baseball season, since that's a slower season for us, and we had the studio this year. We did a $20 deposit with a code, just kind of like Photo Day, but our own code. And we ran it through Pixie Set. So when they checked out, they got the $20 back, yet they got to pick among 6 to 8 images of what they wanted. And I'm telling you, in the past, when our baseball orders unseen were probably $20 to $28, those deposits came through. And then on our reports, our sales doubled. So they spent the 20, and then they spent another $20 to $40 on top of that, because money spent is money gone.
Right.
And we would give them about a week or two before they would get it. So that's another pay period. And we were shocked when we pulled the reports after the last team. We were like, oh my gosh. And then we had gotten this little wee ball team in here. Good Lord. That's hard age. That's 4 or 5 years old. And I had one that all he wanted to do was look at the light. And we just kind of made lemonade out of it, because of those crazy kids not looking at the camera and just having fun and making faces. We booked like 4 more wee ball teams. And I'm telling you, almost every parent bought the top package we sold.
There you go.
Every one of them, because it's their first year and those parents are excited. And I'm like, all day long, whatever, it's okay. So, but that's what we did. And the deposit works. We're trying to figure out how to do it with football. We are going to do it with football because we want them to be able to see it. I do want to keep it in-house because I print in-house for youth, and it keeps a little bit more in our pocket. But we're going to have to really reduce the size, the amount of proofs down when you have 30 kids on a team.
Right.
I can't be doing eight a kid. So I'm going to do a setup here in the studio that will be different than if we go out to set up. So we're still trying to figure out our football.
So for your self-fulfillment, which printer are you using to print those out?
I have the Fuji, what's it called? If you hadn't asked me, I could have told you.
Somebody will type it in. Brian knows everything.
It's the big white one. It sits on a counter. It's got a blue pretty top. Fuji 100, 500. I don't know. I'm on my second one.
It gets you paid.
Oh, he knew it. Oh, knew it.
Of course.
Yeah, but I'm on my second one, and the first one, Jeff Gump said, "You wore it out. You literally wore it out. Buy a new one." I was like, so I waited until Texas school and I bought a new one. So, but I love that thing. I love it.
There you go. Let's see who we got. I'm guessing this is Brian as well. Brian, give StreamYard permission. Look at the link where you came into the show and give StreamYard permission. That way we can see your pretty face and your name come across. Deposits are how we work. You're right on. The money spent is now money forgotten. Average order is $75 for us on the deposit shoots. Good job.
Yep. That's about what it goes to. It was amazing. And those are our littlest teams with usually our smallest.
Young parents are extra for sure.
They want it now and they want to see it now. And it's so funny, but we're trying to get there for them. And I think we did a good job for baseball and everybody was real happy with that. So it was good.
Good.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you. He was my son was in the doghouse. He forgot my birthday yesterday.
Ooh, not good. And you took a whole month off to spend time with a whole year, senior year, pretty much.
But this is my oldest, my one in the air. He's in the air.
Okay.
I got flowers today. Imagine that.
Ken Maddow says it's the BFM. You must be talking about that DX100. Let's see. Didn't see it on Facebook link. Brandy, thank you for your son's service. Yes. In the Air Force.
Yep.
And any other questions, go ahead and type them in and we will keep it moving here. We've got, let me see if I got anybody. Let me acknowledge the folks that we have in here, where they're from. They're saying, I love the new intro. I took an old intro and made it new. That's what I did. He said, y'all are jokers coming through like superheroes with our intro. Wait for it. Superhero landing from Ken Maddows. Felicia says good evening to the Rise guys. Then I lost my sound. Then I came back. And I'm still wild about the intro. Howie telling me how to pronounce your name. Y'all are doing it. And then we've got Tampa, Florida. We got Memphis, Bedford, Virginia, East Orange, New Jersey. Ken Maddows talking about his business partner who'll be joining him at Rise 2. Look forward to meeting you, Ken. That must be this one right here. This must be his partner. And then we've got Kentucky in the house, and we got Hello Brandy's, and I think we got all the rest. So thank you all for joining in. For those of you that are watching this on the replay, we appreciate you watching the replay. Go ahead and type in any comments that you have, even though it's not live. We'll try to check back and answer any questions that you might have about this live or Brandy's process or Rise or anything else that we've got going on here. We're here for you to help everyone do better and make more money with less time spent out there making mistakes.
Elise has a really good one too.
Oh, here she goes here. Hey, Brandy, do you find that clients take you less serious because you are a woman? Hello. I'm going to give you the whole.
I'm gonna say I would think no. I'm very I'm spicy, so I guess that's what I've been called lately. I will go in I have a boy mom. Okay, let's start there. I'm a boy mom, so I'm used to having just boys all around the house and everything, and I've heard it all. But I will command a room and yell at kids, and not in a mean way, but a get it together, straighten up. Especially when you're doing varsity team pictures and it's all it's traditional and it's set. And I'll be the first one to call out somebody, especially during football pictures, because you always have those certain football players that think they're just can do anything. And I'll call them out and I'll be like, you know what? 24, straighten up. There's your coach. Do you want to get out of the picture right now? I mean, I just kind of take over and command. And I've had some coaches call me on it and just say, I wish they would listen to me like that. And it's kind of helped that I use my cheer voice, I guess you could say. But it's funny some days, and some days it just pisses me off, because you've got teenage boys that are just wanting to be little idiots. So that's really, I haven't had a lot of problems. Luckily my work has spoke for itself, and I'm very quick. I'm very fast when I'm on the job because I don't want to be there any longer than they want me there. So especially when it's hot, because I'm an indoor girl and I get grumpy when I get hot. So I work very fast. I want to be out of their way, and the coaches love that. When we went to composites to all of our youth teams, our coaches love it because I'm like, they're going to take 3 shots and then get them out of here. Leave, right. Get out of here, go to practice, do what you need to do. And they're like, we're done. I'm like, you're done. Leave. Bye. So it's funny. It's a very, very good question. And I've worried about that sometimes, but I don't, luckily I haven't had to run into that yet. So
Kim Matos is asking, what size do you print in-house?
Up to 8x10. I've toyed with the idea of getting the big 16x20 printer and bringing it down here to the studio. But I'm just kind of like, oh, am I going to lose, jets because it sits here for a couple months at a time, when I'm not at my peak season. So if I have a lot of orders like through football season, I'll order my 16x20s. That is our poster package, one of our most popular packages. I'll order them from Science 365 and have them special cut for $10, and compared to like if I have to order it from Miller Sports when I'm like $8 a piece. So that really cuts into my thing. But we do in-house, we do buttons, we do magnets. I do all the custom memory mates. I do not put memory mates on every package because that's a pain in the butt. Right. That's a special order, and that's a higher cost item because I'm like, that takes a lot of work because I don't just shove a picture in a picture. The team extracted is in my image, and it's, yeah. So, but anyway, it's good. So.
All right. And Sherry's asking, what lighting setup do you use on location?
Right there.
There you go. That was easy.
So there's that's exactly how I would set up on site. Not that big of a green screen, but I have my 2 rim lights. I actually use, I don't take those strips out anymore. I have these tube lights, and they're not, you're using with your 8200s, but I have it, but they're packed up. I'll put it in the comments later. It's it looks like a big not lightning, like a tube, light tube. Anyway, they're a lot easier. They're a lot smaller because they're only like about this big around. So I can get into smaller spaces with them. But that, and then my main light that's usually about the size I use. If I'm outside on a football field or something, I may use a beauty dish. But I try to use the sun as my second light. But inside, that's exactly what I do day in, day out. That's my go-to. So. Cap, where'd you go?
I'm with you here still. I'm still with you. I'm going through comments here. Someone here says, Brandy, who's your favorite photog? BFF.
I can't say that. No, I'm not even.
Melissa Elkins, someone might think to do that. Then they see how Brandy works. So yeah, once they know. I lost the context because I don't know when it came in. Let's see. If you guys don't have our name and picture showing up, click this link, give permission to Facebook and Streamyard. Good job, Howie. Thanks for the backup. I appreciate that. And Jamie, Felicia, as a woman, I feel they take me more seriously. There's a level of comfort that a lot of people have when it's a woman dealing with their children. And I too, like Brandy, take command. LOL, Ken Matos calls the boss because I will too walk in and take command and say this is what it is and how it is going to be done. So between the work, the two, it works in my favor.
That is exactly. I need to meet Jamie because that is exactly how I work. I had a football coach walk up once. So, you know, when you're in football season, when it's time for team pictures, you should be reporting to practice. There should be no question. And I had a coach walk up and he's like, well, can you put the kid in the picture? And I went, no, we're taking it in the bleachers. No. And he's like, well, he's one of my seniors. I said, and then why isn't he here? He's like, well, he's on vacation. I said, and whose fault's that? No, sorry, he won't be in the team picture. So, you deal with that parent. I was just like, no, you should be here. That is a huge thing for me. Like, if we're doing picture day, then you should already be reporting to practice. So yeah, I'm Jamie. I am one to speak up, and sometimes I may get a little, back, but it is what it is. They know I'm not a pushover. I am little. I'm 5 foot tall. I'm very short. I'm very tiny, but I take control too. So, and Sharon, I would love to use a boom. I tried in here. I have in here. Again, I'm 5 foot tall. I'm not real upper body strength strong, and I have a hard time getting it where it needs to be. So I have never attempted to actually take it on location. Here, I will try it. But I'm always scared to lift it. And I even bought the adapter that you can just take the top of the 600 off, and then put the base of it so it's lighter and you can lift it. And I suck. I need somebody to help me, I guess. I really want to shoot that way more, but it's very hard for me to set up, and I don't know why. So.
All right, cool. We're at 46 minutes. Howie, did you answer me? Let me see here. Howie, you didn't answer, so I'm going to bring you in. Let's see here. Nobody brings a boom like Howie. And let's see. We got Ken Matos. Oh, you and my partner, Jamie Audit. We get along so well.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're bringing Howie into the conversation. We're at 46 minutes. Let's try to get you out of here before an hour because the questions are coming. Welcome, Howie. Join the conversation.
Cap only says that because I came in last week and just blah, 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 blah. So he had to throw that disclaimer out real quick. Also, I have no idea what you're talking about that I didn't answer you because the only thing that I saw that you asked me, oh, wait, sorry. I see a private chat. Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you were only asking me if I could post a Streamyard link. So
no, we're good.
What's up, Brandy?
What's up, Howie?
Were you like, oh my God, where's Howie? Can we please get Howie on? This is boring. Just Cap. Where's Kane? Where's Kane tonight?
Where's Kane?
I have no idea.
He's working.
Incognito.
So bad.
I don't think I've ever heard that. How have I never heard that?
You haven't heard that one?
Between the two of you, how have I never heard that?
Anyhow, so what else we got? Brandy, I think we covered it all. What you're shooting with, where you're at, your studio there. What made you decide to go ahead and go the studio route?
I've been wanting to for a long time, and we lost a ton of business last spring because we didn't have where to go. You had COVID, coming off the backside of COVID, and we got to the point. Here's one of my things where you say no. We would say if you want us to come out, then you need to find at least 2 more teams. So we need at least 3 teams to show up. And we hated putting that burden on teams, but it wasn't worth our while to show up for one team of 9 kids, 10 kids. So I've been wanting a studio for a very long time. And last year when we did taxes, I had been saving and saving and saving because the year before kicked our butts. And I told my husband, I said, this year, if it comes out where we come out really well and we have the money, we're going to find a studio. And so I don't know what happened. COVID, I wrote the kitchen sink off and it was just worked out that year. And so I had this big savings account. I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the time. This is my sign. We didn't owe a lot in taxes. So here we go. And it's been wonderful because now we can just book one-off teams and we just stack them ourselves. And, I do all my senior sales here. I don't have to bring people into my home anymore, which was horrible. It's just nice to have somewhere, and the people have responded to it wonderfully. I have a lot of space. We can bring in corporate headshots now to add a little bit more business. But it's out of my house. Everything's out of my house now. I still process at home because I would never be home if I didn't. But it was just one of those goal things that I wanted. And this is our 8th year in full time. So it was time.
Good.
Are you doing sports minis there at the studio for leagues or for kids that you don't have their entire league or team, just individuals that want to do?
I tried to do that. I had them actually booked in May, and then I got hit by the baseball in June and had to shut down. So we were going to do a couple of days. We're just, drop by if your team didn't do pictures. And then I got nailed by the baseball. And so I couldn't pick up my camera.
You should have had a picture of that loaded up and ready to go.
It was bad. It was so, but I got my new watch. I got a new watch out of it.
For those of you who watch Stranger Things, it looked like she got vecna'd. Did you watch it? No.
No, my son watched it, and everybody in my house has watched it actually, but me. But it was bad. It was really bad, and it was my focus hand, so I couldn't work. And I'm like, well, guess I'm taking vacation. So, but my husband got me a new watch for my birthday, and I put it on yesterday, and I had to take it right back off because it still hurts. I still got a knot there, and I don't know how to break it. But
so would that have been your first crack at sports minis there in the new studio?
Yeah, so I'm going to try to give it another run, probably late September, because we're usually done with all of our leagues by then. And I want to set up a completely different setup here in the studio for the teams that come here versus going out and green screening. So if we go out, we're going to green screen. But if you come in here, you're going to get a more of a studio vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. What's on the chat now? I just saw him poking, and how does he not give StreamYard permission? Here we go. Facebook user Kane Sampson. That's my big sis. Come on, Kane.
It just sucks that it doesn't remember from one stream to the next. Like,
no, in case you change your mind, nobody wants to get sued. Nobody wants to get sued.
Yeah, Ken, we lucked out here. I found a location in a strip center that they're trying to rebuild on Route 66 here in Tulsa. And so the whole complex has neon and a lot of the Route 66 memorabilia, and they were trying to get it occupied. So this 3,000 square feet here was a storage unit that another business was using, I think, free. And I took a look at it and I was like, this is it. And it wasn't a hard build out. I wanted an open plan. We have one wall and double doors to keep the parents out of the studio. I have a window for them to watch. They cannot come back here. I'm like, no. So we have double glass doors with signs that say coaches and players only through this point. Parents go watch. And it's been wonderful. Like, my coaches are like, can we get one of those in the dugout? That's awesome. So it's been great. And we got a really good deal. We have a 3-year lease. Every year it will increase $200. But for 3,000 square feet, I could not beat my cost. Not even. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was meant to be.
I had to do that once with dance well, not just moms, dance moms and dads, had to lock them into my prop closet because no matter this one, I was still shooting the group all set up at once. I mean, it's not a big prop closet. It's maybe like 12 foot by 12, something like that, 10 by 10. And I had to cram a bunch of them in there because they wouldn't stop going, look here, look, smile, doing all that stuff. And it's like, I can't have, 12 different kids looking 12 different directions for this shot, and they wouldn't get it. So I had to be spicy like Brandy, and I had to tell them, it's like, all right, that's it. You guys have got to either go out, go downstairs, or go into this closet. And then they all went into the closet. So.
Well, what I'm thinking is there was a few, I mean, it depends the age, because the coaches are back here and they should be listening to their coaches. But, you have those kids who look over at that window for mom. And so I'm highly debating making it mirrored to where they can see in, but they can't see out. And they can go over there and fix their hair and do whatever. And everybody's going to be watching them do that.
Interrogation glass.
I'm very, very tempted because they'll be sitting there and they'll keep looking over. I'm like, quit looking. Look here. So, but it's worked. It's been really nice, and people have respected it. And teachers that are parents that have come in, they have ultimately respected it because it's a boundary. I'm like, I got to have these boundaries. These parents are crazy. They're just crazy.
Cool. Hey, Howie will talk your ear off if I let him keep going. So we're at 55 minutes. But Brandy, we thank you so much for your time. We appreciate that. And we're going to put you in the back of the green room. Please don't hang up, because I want to bring you back and chat a little bit offline. And I'm going to close this out the same way we came in, with some nice videos. So Howie, anything, parting comments? Peace. There it is. So you're both going in the back green room. We'll see you in a minute. Boom, boom. And thank you all once again for joining us on Facebook and on YouTube. Brandy Moton out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, motonphotography.com. Check her out. If you're in that area and you happen to come across this video, make sure you use her services, because she is getting it done in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And once again, Rise Workshops 2, July 15th to the 17th in Orlando, Florida. We no longer have that great rate on the rooms if you haven't booked your room yet, but you can give us a call and we can hook you up with someone who can give you some type of a discount over the regular summer discount rates. But that $119 a room, if you didn't get it already, you missed it. Those of you that are signed up, we look forward to seeing you. And we're going to go out like we came in. Let me see if I can get this going here. Let's do our Rise intro, outro. See you guys in a minute. Thanks for joining us.